Before TikTok created overnight stars, before YouTube turned teenagers into global celebrities, before record labels understood how viral culture worked, one teenager quietly rewrote the rules of music distribution. His name is DeAndre Cortez Way, better known as Soulja Boy. And whether people respect him or not, he permanently altered how artists break into the industry. This is the full story, from a kid experimenting on dial-up internet to a cultural figure who forced the music business to adapt. Early life, from Chicago to Mississippi. Soulja Boy was born in Chicago in 1990, but his story doesn't begin in a major music hub. When he was 6 years old, his family moved to Atlanta and then eventually to Batesville, Mississippi, a small town with very limited industry exposure. This move mattered. Mississippi wasn't producing mainstream rap stars at the time. There was no local pipeline to major labels, no studio infrastructure, no management ecosystem. But what it did have was internet access, and that became his advantage. When he was around 14 years old, his father recognized his interest in music and built him a small recording setup in their home. It wasn't high-end equipment, it was basic, a simple microphone, a cracked version of Fruity Loops software, a home computer. Instead of waiting to be discovered, Soulja Boy began uploading his own songs to platforms like SoundClick and MySpace. And this is where things get important. The internet strategy nobody understood. In 2005-2006, most rappers were chasing radio DJs, mixtape circuits, or label scouts. Soulja Boy did something different. He treated the internet like a game to be mastered. He studied search traffic. He renamed his tracks strategically so they would appear in searches related to popular artists. He created multiple accounts to boost engagement. He dropped links in chat rooms. He responded to fans directly. This wasn't accidental virality. It was intentional digital strategy. At a time when the music industry dismissed online buzz as unserious, Soulja Boy was building a fan base entirely outside of traditional gatekeepers. By 2006, he had already built a measurable online following before any major label stepped in. Crank That, the perfect viral formula. In 2007, Soulja Boy uploaded a song called Crank That, Soulja Boy. The production was minimal. The lyrics were simple, but the structure of the song was genius. He didn't just release a track, he built participation into it. Superman that. The song included instructions. It encouraged imitation. It created a repeatable dance that anyone could perform. And because YouTube was still young, thousands of kids uploaded their own versions of the dance. Schools, malls, living rooms, talent shows, the internet amplified it. The song went from online buzz to Billboard dominance. Crank That hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 7 weeks. He was 17 years old. The industry didn't create that hit. The audience did, and labels were forced to catch up. The industry pushed back, but success created backlash. Critics argued his lyrics lacked depth. Veteran rappers accused him of lowering the bar. Music purists dismissed him as a gimmick. However, what they failed to see was that he had shifted the metric of success. He wasn't competing on lyrical density. He was competing on attention and engagement. And attention was becoming the new currency. His follow-up singles like Kiss Me Through the Phone and Turn My Swag On continued to chart, proving he wasn't a one-hit anomaly. But by the early 2010s, the ringtone era was fading. Streaming was rising, the economics of music were changing, and the momentum slowed. The fell-off narrative. By 2012-2014, mainstream attention had shifted toward new artists emerging through platforms like YouTube and later SoundCloud. Ironically, the very system Soulja Boy helped normalize now produced competitors. Public perception framed him as someone who fell off. But that wasn't entirely accurate. Behind the scenes, he was pivoting. He launched independent projects. He experimented with digital monetization. He invested in tech ventures and branding opportunities. Not all of them succeeded. Some were controversial. His Soulja game console, for example, drew scrutiny over licensing issues. But it revealed something about his mindset. He was thinking beyond music. The 2019 reset. Then came one of the most pivotal moments of his career. In 2019, Soulja Boy appeared on The Breakfast Club. The interview went viral. The now famous Drake moment wasn't just meme-worthy, it reframed his legacy. During that interview, he argued that he laid the foundation for artists using the internet to break into the mainstream. And this time, the culture listened. Because by 2019, it was undeniable. Justin Bieber had been discovered on YouTube. Chief Keef exploded off viral buzz. SoundCloud rappers dominated streaming charts. Soulja Boy had done it first, before labels knew how to monetize it. The narrative shifted from gimmick rapper to internet pioneer. Legal troubles and public controversy. Like many artists who rose to fame at a young age, Soulja Boy's adult life unfolded under the constant gaze of the public. His journey was far from smooth, marked by legal troubles, probation violations, and high-profile disputes that often overshadowed his music. At times, the controversies seemed louder than his creative output, threatening to define his legacy more than his artistry. Yet survival in the entertainment industry is its own achievement. Many teenage stars fade into obscurity, unable to adapt to shifting cultural tides. Soulja Boy didn't disappear. Instead, he found ways to remain relevant. He embraced the internet as his stage, maintaining a steady online presence and connecting directly with fans. He continued touring, tapping into nostalgia cycles that kept his early hits alive while introducing them to new audiences. He understood that in the digital era, visibility itself is a form of leverage. By staying culturally present, whether through memes, viral moments, or collaborations, he ensured that his name remained part of the conversation. Soulja Boy's story is less about perfection and more about persistence. His ability to endure, adapt, and leverage digital culture illustrates the resilience required to survive in a world where fame can vanish overnight. Where he stands now. As of the mid-2020s, Soulja Boy remains active in music and business. He continues releasing independent tracks, collaborating with newer artists, and maintaining a strong presence online. He may not dominate Billboard the way he did in 2007, but his influence is embedded in the system. Today's music industry depends heavily on direct-to-fan engagement, viral dance challenges, platform-native promotion, algorithm understanding, all elements he utilized before they became standard practice. His career arc reflects something bigger than a single hit. It reflects adaptation. The real legacy. Soulja Boy didn't just create a dance record. He demonstrated that artists could bypass traditional gatekeepers. He proved that digital momentum could force industry recognition. He showed that branding, repetition, and internet literacy were as powerful as radio promotion. He took what looked like a toy platform, MySpace, and turned it into a launchpad. And now that playbook is standard procedure. Whether people credit him openly or not, his blueprint shaped an entire generation of artists. Soulja Boy's story is not a simple rise and fall narrative. It's a case study in timing, digital awareness, and understanding attention before corporations monetized it. From a bedroom producer in Mississippi to a Billboard #1 artist at 17, to a controversial but undeniable pioneer of internet rap. He didn't wait for permission. He built his own lane. Now tell me, is Soulja Boy properly recognized as a pioneer? Or is he still one of the most underrated disruptors in music history? If you want more detailed breakdowns of the artists who changed culture before the industry caught up, make sure you subscribe.